Episode 2. Wow, chickenless head. But where is the chicken? I have to find it. Yeah, so she walks past. As you can see, there's like a little poor homeless guy. He's having quite a lot of fun drawing, probably her. And some spiders running around, interesting. Maybe he's not homeless, who knows he's homeless. She sees this chickenless head. And she's wondering where is the rest of the chicken. And somehow she assumes it probably is up to her to find the chicken, because could it not be, right? So she goes to a recycling plant, kind of looking a little like a cemetery, and she goes, oh, the chicken must be here, right? There's a circus in the background. Wow, heavy stuff, huh? And all the trees are pregnant. Yeah, all the trees are pregnant. Yeah, and because that's what happens in spring, no? They all come walk around pregnant and then they give birth and stuff, so that's why. And then she sees this creature, which is like, oh boy, what is that, under a cherry tree. Some kind of creepy guy probably, but it's not a guy. And she's like, I'm looking for something, I forgot what, do you have it? Like, she basically has no clue what she's looking for. She's asking a stranger if he can tell her, and she's assuming that probably he has it. Interesting. So she's like, hey, there you go, right there. Sits her guy, or whatever that thing is. We'll discover just in a minute what that thing was. Uh-oh. Prepare yourselves. He was half. Not half Dutch or Spanish. Just half. And that half was made of glass. Red wine, bottle glass. Half bottle, half broken. And it's a stroke this side only, but for obvious reasons, because you're going to stroke this way. Yeah, so he was half a bottle. That's like that. Like, why do we say half a bottle and then we mean like vertically or not horizontally, rather? You know what I mean? No? Like half a bottle instead of this way, because that's much more fun. To stay alive, he searched for his other half everywhere. He could see all things invisible, and he saw her. But wait for it, there is a catch. He saw her like that. Well, because he needs his other half of the bottle, doesn't he? Oops. So yeah, we see that shot from his perspective. And I think she is in some deep shit. So here we can see how he thinks. There he is. And he's like, my half, her half, a bit of super glue. Happiness in the bottle. Happiness in the bottle. Oops. Actually, basically that's what happened. So with some super glue, it was very sticky. Oh dear. Stroke only that side, right? What happens if she strokes this side? All that happens. The chicken goes flying. She's right there with an arrow. There's a little stuffed apple pig explosion. Super glue flies. Basically nothing really particularly very good happens here. That's obvious. And this place gets me stressed. So he's just like excusing himself. But she's lying there with like 3 arrows burst through her insides. Well, he's getting on, let's go to an island. So he gets a map out. He's just half. He's always like walking around like half. He gets like this map out. And he's like, hey, there's a Pooh Island. Looks good. So maybe we'll just go there. And then they're like, I'm going to ask this fat, arrogant tiger to give us a ride. Because right there, you know. And anyway, it's interesting how on the map it's like, wow, sunny, you know, like happy. But if you look in reality, it looks very, very dodgy indeed. And this one is just like, oh boy, what's happened there? So we can kind of be already prepared a bit. And we have a nice shot of the tiger and the guys at the back. You know, this guy sure knows how to swim. And so they come across some sirens, because that's what happens. And they're like really tempting, the sirens. No, they're like trying. So we call it temptation. And like, this way, come this way. And he goes, hey, is it me or that damn island keeps getting smaller the closer we get? Yeah, so it's the closer you get to the island and the smaller it gets. That's how it is. Ah, wait, I'm coming, baby. Oops. She got the tiger. This is like a really slutty, drunk mermaid siren thing that's like can't even let a cigarette out of her mouth. And then the tiger after her. And these two guys have found some previous victim who is also half a ball, and they're riding him. And yes, the damn island's getting so small. They're like, well, I can't see it anymore. That must mean we arrived. Yeah, that's how you arrive, because you don't see it anymore. And name Magic Island, size 1.5 minus square, no, minus cube, what's a 5? Cubic? Minus 5. Main trade slaves, gambling, populations 2 chicken. 2 chickens, I mean. Instructions for new residents. To get the island to work, you have to unzip and blow. She unzips, he blows. And that should be fine for the island to work. In fact, yes, it you know, opened up, inflated, good. And then they look inside the island, and Jesus Christ, it rains there too. Raining carrots and tomatoes from the church. Just like before, you know, sometimes nothing changes. Sometimes it's very comforting to see that. Come, little birdies, sing us a song. Because they found some cute birdies there. And to tempt the birdies, they give them like a mouse on the hand. Little fish skeletons, some bones. And they're preparing a nice pig dinner. So the roast pig's there, those two are hugging. The birds are dancing. Actually, it's okay, huh? It's not. Turned out quite well, actually. Except, oops, when the morning comes, sold. They got, you see they're there. There's some other slaves. And just to break the news already, this is a slave market. Oops. But luckily, bought by the castrated, frustrated teddy bear Martin, we're off the slave market. So the castrated, frustrated guy has bought them. And she's now cleaning his cage. You know, like all his crap off the floor. He's like constantly drooling. It's a dirty animal. But at least they're off the market. And the bear clearly has a gambling problem. So I think what happened actually is that the bear decided to gamble them away with whiskey and his very crazy looking rabbit friend and a cat friend and God knows who else is there on the table. And he basically just lost all his money because he's like irresponsible, stupid bear, doesn't know what he's doing. So they were like, shit, we better run. And they're like, faster, silly birds, faster. So they're using those birds to escape. While, yeah, they stole some things because, as you do, a bit of money, a bit of wine, a glass. And they've been throwing stuff out over there. Like there's balls flying at them, eggs flying at them, stones. And they're okay. They're just like, we're fine. And then they're like, why don't we take a break in this nice hotel? But is it a hotel? Can't they leave? Because it's just a strip club. And then there is like a really interesting situation down there. Like, what happened? And it's very pretty much closed. But I don't think they care. Anyway, they come in and who do they see? Do you remember the tiger? I think he got in with the wrong, right, whatever crowd. And now he's with the mermaids in the strip club, stripping with his 3 tits. And he's got like, instead of poles, you've got syringes, needles, because it's better. And there we have them trying to cross over to the other side to say hi to the tiger, or maybe for the drugs, probably for the drugs. And then you got the crocodiles down there, like if you fall, oops. And so indeed, she doesn't care. She just like keeps going, and it seems like the guy, oops, he fell. But I don't think she knows about it. Huh? She's just like, what was that? That's it. That's the end of episode 2. Because she doesn't even look back, and she never looks back. She just doesn't. It's good not to look back. Okay, see you for episode 3.